Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Arifureta Season 2 episode review. And we get a pretty big episode here. From the standpoint, we get the Noint versus Hajime fight, some revelations at hand, and the traitor finally reveals itself. The I guess you could say the school traitor that's been causing everything to happen. Anyways, we got a great episode last week with Yue and Shea. This week was strictly focused on Hajime, and then the last bit of it focused around the traitor. So Hajime is going up against Noint, and this fight was dope. This fight was really cool, and everything. Noint was just literally destroying Hajime and taking down all of his attacks with utter ease and everything. And Hajime was actually having a huge problem because the thing is, Noint's she was using like her limit break power, and plus her magic's not going down and everything. This is like very tough for freaking Hajime and everything. Like everything he's dishing out, she's either dodging or she's just blocking and deflecting and everything. And Hajime is just wondering, like, what can I do to defeat this chick? And he looks at her abdomen area, and it's like, I got to come up with something. Then that's when you get to look at her swords. Her swords actually have taken some crazy like damage. Where it looks like there's cracks within him, and they're like literally about to break and everything. So Hajime gets the idea, okay, I got to trap her. So he brings out these two rings now, which Noint calls is like these like weaken, like these light weak attacks and everything. Like she's like, what are you going to do? These are going to do nothing. But we find out it was all like a trap. And it's like, it's a trap. He like just starts shooting into these, holes, or these portal things, and actually creates these vines or these whips that like capture her and trap her. And essentially he gets that one drill like attack, charges it up, and freaking is drilling Noint and impales Noint, and it blows like one of her wings away, and she gets impaled, and she just falls down, and I'm guessing it's presumed she's dead, and she's like a regular, as her eyes like start to white out, and then she falls down to the ground and she dies. In the meantime, Aiko and Tio, Tio's like, I'm gonna go take care of the church business, but after I drop you off. But then we find out, oh no, what is it? Aiko's like, no, I need to help you. I want to help you. I have to be better at this. So she does this thing where she, I guess she bites her finger and she makes it bleed, and she draws like this, like, I guess you can say this magic circle on her hand. And when Hajime, after he defeats Noint, this big explosion happens. He gets over there. We find out it's because of Tio, thanks to Aiko giving her a boost in power. Essentially, with the I forgot what magic was, but this like the boost she gave her essentially had Tio essentially destroy this entire church with utter ease. And essentially the people that were within the church, they're dead essentially. There's no chance that they there's no chance that they were alive and everything. And because of this, Aiko kind of, I guess you could say in a weird way, gets sick to her stomach, because essentially she killed people. I guess I will say I don't blame her. Now you can say, but these guys were like kind of under the influence and kind of bad people and stuff like that. But again, you don't have, for her, it's like, she kind of doesn't really like to do that stuff. Like she even says, like, I don't really want to fight. Like, that's not my style. And the fact that she probably killed like maybe a few hundreds of people in this church, to her it's kind of like, what have I done? And it kind of makes her sick to her stomach. I did like the whole fact that Hajime kind of embraced her and everything, because it's like, he, in a way, he can feel for her, because it's like, the thing is, he had to do something that was probably against his character, and that's kill, and it turned him out to help him assist. But to her, he knows how Aiko isn't like that type of person and stuff like that. But they end up seeing this one person, like this ghost, and this ghost is this ghost doesn't say anything, but they follow the ghost. They end up getting into this one area where this magic circle appears and everything, and it's like a thing, magic circle that can like change someone's heart. And essentially, there's this book with this ring that essentially finds out how to take out, how to pass the Great Labyrinth, which I believe is the Great Labyrinth. And essentially it's like you have to do these prerequisites by completing these other labyrinths, and as well as like not having like a tie to God or something like that, not having like a belief in him or something. Essentially, I took it as a way as like it's essentially essentially like a way of like you have no connection to God in a way, like, I guess you can say something like that. And essentially because of it, Igo's like, well, there's another thing going on, and it's the royal capital being raided and everything, and stuff like that, and we have to go back and help the others. So they're going back, and that's when they're gonna go try to meet up with Yue and the others, especially because the demons are attacking everything. We then cut back to Shizuku's group, and Shizuku's group, obviously, this takes place a few hours before everything that's going on, that's been going on in this for the first part of the episode, and even last week's episode. They hear obviously this glass shatter, which I'm guessing it was when the freaking Knight's captain, he jumped out of the window, but then got confronted by Noint and then ended up getting killed and everything. Shizuku ends up meeting with some of the other girls in the other classroom, the other classmates, and is like, well, there's something clearly going on here. And we need to do something about it. We need to find out what the reasoning. Now we see one of the maids comes in, and we already see she's under the influence, she's under the control, but Shizuku and the others don't pick it up and everything. And essentially the maid's like, yeah, demons have overrun the kingdom, we have to do something. So Shizuku's like, well, we got to meet up with Meld and the other, Royal Knight captain, so we can find out what we can do about it. But essentially, they get there, and he's like, yeah, we know everything and stuff like that. They ask where the captain is, and he's like, well, he's taking care of some urgent business right now. And essentially they let him then walk in this Coliseum. They get to this one point where then I think the dude Meld, he holds up this one crystal, and he's like, yada yada yada, we will do this to help defeat this and stuff like that. But then Shizuku picks it up at the last second, and we find out it was, well, I already knew it regardless. Heck, walking up into this, one of the classmates is like, Shizuku, I don't know about this. This doesn't feel obvious. I'm like, well, if it doesn't feel good, then why shouldn't you guys get the hell out of there? But Shizuku's Eve is like, yeah, keep your guard up. I don't know much about it. But like I said, after holding up this crystal like thing, this crystal ball like thing, Shizuku's like, uh-oh. She's like, everybody look away. It's a trap, essentially. And essentially we find out it's like a solar flare like blinding, magic thing where it blocks people's like light of vision and stuff like that. And all you hear in the background is, the classmates getting attacked and cut. And then Shizuku's the only one that doesn't end up getting cut or slashed in the back and everything. And she looks around and she sees that her entire classmates are all slain down. Now, they don't specify if all of them are dead. We see some of them are like still alive. We don't know if all the classmates, we don't know if some of the classmates are dead. I don't know why they would leave them alive. You would think they would just impale them and just kill them, but okay. But they're just slain and they're down and they're kind of just badly wounded and bruised. No, I wouldn't say bruised. Just they're badly wounded. They got cut across the back and everything. And Shizuku's like, what the hell is going on here? And all of a sudden we hear a laugh in the distance, and we see this character, the silhouetted character, right there. You see this character from the distance, and you're like, who is that? But all of a sudden the maid who we saw earlier in the episode comes back. She's like, Shizuku, and I'm like, Shizuku, get the hell away. You're gonna get it stabbed. And of course, Shizuku ends up taking a knife to the back and everything. She gets pressed down, gets these handcuffs on her, and that's when the traitor, who's been pulling the strings the entire time, finally reveals itself, and it's that glasses girl named Eri, which we even saw earlier in the episode. We saw this chick earlier in the episode, when they were all huddled up, meeting up with what they were going to do and everything. And she gives off this evil laugh. She's like, and I'm like, oh yeah. So that's where the episode ends off. We're left on a cliffhanger of what's gonna happen. So next week, I'm guessing we're gonna find out Aries' motivation or the reasoning why she did all this and stuff like that. So I'm guessing this is only gonna result in Hajime and his group finding a way to save them because they're in a pretty tough predicament here. So yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. So does that, that means is she like well, no, it's already kind of somewhat confirmed. It's like, well, some characters were actually working alongside the demons. So does that mean like Aries actually working alongside the demons? And they're working side by side with this as she plotted this entire thing. It's gonna be very interesting to see where this story goes. But after this, we got 2 more episodes of this season, and then we're done with Arifureta. As we hope to get a season 3. Because I think I can speak for probably maybe a lot of fans of the franchise. Because I know there's some people that don't like this series. While there's some people that genuinely do like it. I know for me, it was like, honestly, when I saw that season 1, just in my watching random animes on Funimation, I was highly like, I wonder if this is going to get a season 2, and lo and behold, I find out it's getting a season 2. I feel like it definitely could get a season 3 if it gets a lot of love and everything. So yeah, I enjoy it. So I hope it gets a season 3. If they don't close out, I guess the series, I highly doubt they'll close it out in less than 2 episodes, but it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen next. But yeah, but anyways, we found out who the traitor is finally. So yeah, and it was one of the classmates who, like, from what I know, barely got in like focus. So yeah, I'm not trying to say the reveal was kind of underwhelming, but it's like this one character wasn't really. From what I remember, this character wasn't featured a lot, especially when you go over to Shizuku's group and everything. It's kind of just like, what the fudge? What the heck is this? So yeah, but I'm guessing she's going to explain why she did what she did, all this and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyways, guys, I'm gonna get it out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Arifureta, as well as hit the subscribe button. You want to get more Arifureta content. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your day or night when watching this video. Until then, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.